Yeah. Oh, Kinley, where you at, dude?
Come here, Dallas. Come here. Move your head, Dallas. Move your head.
Oh,
Move your head.
yeah. Oh, we in a rodeo. What's going on here? Bounce your ass. What is up, Broncos country? I'm your host, Fanatic Doc. This is my boy Kinley. What is up? We are 6-2, top of the AFC West. Yeah, dude, I'm feeling some type of way. I was feeling some type of way when I woke up before the game yesterday. And let me tell you this, bro. Like, the Denver Broncos brought out the young guns in a no, it wasn't a shootout. Not a shootout.
Not a shootout.
But I thought, I really did think that it would have potentially been one, right? Dak Prescott comes into this game running hot, second in the league, as I mentioned before this show, before the game. But what happened, Kelly? Okay, yeah, I might need that too. You might need to get me with that too, because
I don't
it's
want
a
to hear
mess.
nothing about no Dak. Dak who? Dak who?
I'm the only Dak, ladies and gentlemen, of today.
All that glazing. Now look at you.
Yeah. I'm a mess.
BTA, baby. BTA.
But you know what, bro? It was a good game. It started off, Bo Nix with an interception. All eyes were on Bo Nix, and they were like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. But go ahead, Kinley. What happened after that?
My boy Bo turned it up to 11. Started slicing and dicing. Now keep in mind, yes, Dallas defense did rank at the bottom. They were like 32nd in the league. They were hit with a lot of injuries. But I will say, if Bo wouldn't have done what he did, we would be looking at him and we'd be talking about something completely different. But the fact that Bo went out there, sliced and diced, stood tall in the pocket, didn't leave out of a muddy pocket, and threw a strike to Troy Franklin.
Bro, he was in his bag. Sean Payton was in his bag. All around collective effort. Riley Moss was in his bag despite some of the penalties that was called on him.
Whew.
And remember, bro, like we talked about it going into this game, like Riley Moss is the key to potentially us winning this game, bro.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate that Patrick Surtain was injured. Prayers up for him. I hope it's not as serious, but I do want to commend the defense for stepping up, the secondary in particular, in the absence of Patrick Surtain, because we've seen what's happened before in the past. We have folded. But, bro, 4 pass deflections from Riley Moss, dude. Phenomenal, dude. And real quick to touch on it, dude, like the Cowboys wide receivers, they basically have like 2 number ones, bro, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. 7 receptions for 78 yards for George Pickens. 7 receptions for 74 yards for CeeDee Lamb, dude. Oh, but wait.
They technically, like, Pickens catches, a lot of that came in the fourth quarter, third quarter, the game pretty much out of reach. Like, this man Pickens talking crap down 20 plus points, and I'm like, all right, cool, you got to catch. Congrats.
But you know what was crazy too, bro? Jake Ferguson. Do you know who that is? Because I didn't see him on the field. 0 receptions, 0 yards, a non-factor. Tremendous game plan by Von Schultz and that defense, bro. Like, they did their thing, dude. Like, I'm tripping, dude. I'm like, wow. I really thought it was going to be a closer game. I didn't really think it was going to be the belt to ass kind of game, dude.
But we'll take it because we were both wrong. We'll take it. We'll take it. Hey, but I'll tell you this, though. I mean, my gridiron player was Cortland Sutton, and he would have had a great game if he wouldn't have dropped that touchdown. But he made up for it with that great 30-plus yard reception. He made up for it.
Speaking of the young guns, bro, I mean, Jesus. One of the young guns. It's original. It's number 16, but it's still Troy Franklin. Not 1, but 2 touchdowns, bro. He looked good.
He did, and it seemed like Sean Payton ran him more vertical. You saw him. You didn't really see as much screens. I think he had like 2 screen catches, but that's still, like, a lot of it was more down the field with Troy. And I love to see it. I really feel like Sean like looked at this offense and he was like, okay, what am I asking everyone to do, or what do others need to do more or less of? He got Pat Bryant involved. Pat Bryant was big in the blocking, and he had his first receiving touchdown with a mile high salute. We love that. And RJ Harvey, not one, not two, but three touchdowns. You gotta love it. 40-yard run. That RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins backfield, that 1-2 punch, that's all I need to see. That is what I need to continue to see. I don't need to see a third running back. I think Sean Payton has finally understood that. Like, all you saw was Dobbins and Harvey.
Water, you don't want to see a third running back?
No, I don't know. No, the other one should be rested. Were they on the field at the same time? What are we doing?
Okay.
Like, and also you got Evan Ingram. I would like Evan Ingram to be involved a little more. He's
nice.
He's another guy I feel like you need to run more vertical a little bit, like he's had 30 plus receiving yards in the last 3 games, which is good, but you kind of want to see him utilized a little bit more. But all in all, I still like yeah, but still he's starting to gain a little bit of steam, and hopefully we can keep him involved in the offense. But that just a good showing. That was a overall great team win. I think that was our first overall great team win, offensive wise, defensive wise, and special teams.
Yeah, collectively overall team win from start to finish, really, other than the bowl. That's like minuscule, bro, in my book, because homeboy Bo Nix, 19 for 29, 247 yards, 65%, 66 if you want to round it up, percent completion percentage. Averaged 8.52 ADOT, bro. Like, that's solid. 4 touchdown passes, bro, and his rating was 117.4, dude. He looked like a veteran, bro. Like, out there on the field, the way he was maneuvering the pocket, the way he was running through his progressions. He just felt like he was in touch with his passing too, bro. And his wide receivers and himself looked pretty much in sync for the most part.
Besides the 4 drops.
But yeah, dude, like, he looked like a veteran, an established veteran. And if that's the Bo Nix that we get from game to game from here on out, dude, we're going to be a problem, dude. We already are a problem. But you really get to talk about Super Bowl aspirations and feel confident about it when you do talk about it, bro. Like, if I'm being honest, dude.
Well, I'll say this. Let's see how this offense does against the Texans next week.
Okay.
Because the Texans defense is legit. They are good. The Texans defense is good. So if this offense can put out an outing similar to what they did against Dallas's defense, going up against a better defense, I can start to feel comfortable about saying, like, hey, like, we could win a Super, like, feel comfortable and confident, not saying it this week and then we have a poor performance and then let them be more consistent. So, like I said, I just want us to get to the dance. If we can get to the dance, then we'll start talking about the red. Like, we handle business. But I want to also hit on my guy, Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I want to hit on my guy, Jahdae, because the fact that he doesn't get many opportunities, but he's cashing in when he's on the field.
When he does.
And with PS2 likely missing a couple of weeks, we haven't got a report yet, but there's been speculation that he could miss 2 weeks and be back for Kansas City. Jahdae, I'm hoping, sees the field more. I understand they threw Chris Abrams-Drain in there. He didn't do necessarily bad. I think he's better at press man than he is at zone. But that's just me. VJ, take some notes. But I'm hoping Jahdae gets on the field more, because legit, when he's on the field, he's either getting a tackle for loss, making a big hit, deflecting the ball away, or getting the ball. So I believe he only played 20 snaps last game. So we got to get him on the field more. He's your first round pick. He is literally a hybrid type. You could have him anywhere. Yeah. So we need to get him on the field more. But other than that, I thought the defense played great. Singleton Shenard played great. I think you jinxed Nick Bonito.
You know what?
Hasn't had a sack in 2 games, but that's okay.
Don't do that to me. Do not do that.
Okay. He can bounce back this week versus the Texans. Yeah. I hope so. I feel like he'll feast versus that O-line they got out there. But this isn't about next
Still
week. This
creating
is about
pressure. We created turnovers. Speaking of turnovers, you touched on Jody Barron, but I want to give flowers to the big boy, Devondre Tillman, bro, with that looking like a DB on the return. He's been good, bro. He's been solid as a rotational edge rusher, and I couldn't ask for more from him, dude.
yeah. Sack
But
last week, interception this week.
you know who really got after it too, bro, on the defensive side, bro, that was in a contract season is our boy John Franklin Myers, bro. Consistently causing havoc in the backfield. He had
Yeah.
himself a game, dude. Especially in a contract year, you need to show something for it, right? And he's consistently been good. Him and freaking Zach Allen, man.
They both have 4 sacks apiece, I believe.
So,
And I feel like if they were going to extend John Franklin Myers, they would have done it by now, because if he continues to rack up these sacks,
dude,
then the price is only going to go up, continue to go up. So I feel like if they wanted him back by now, they would have done it. So I mean, I agree. I think we should pay him now, but
keep your front seven strong, bro. Like keep your strength, you know, intact,
who knows?
right?
That might surprise us.
They might surprise us
But that's
because I mean, J.K. Dobbins, like now to go to that side of the token, another 100-yard rushing game, bro. He's been spectacular. He's third in the league in rushing yards, bro.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Yesterday's game, he had 15 carries for 111 yards, bro.
Wow.
Like that is 7.4 average, bro. Like he was eating, bro. Literally feed J.K.
Yeah.
Dobbins. And J.K. equals 1K. I'm just saying, bro. Like. But bro, like not to toot my own horn, but I saw something in him, like with the Chargers last season, that I felt like can translate to the Denver Broncos with the offensive line that we had already, bro, like as well, and I felt like he would find success in this Broncos offense. And that's kind of what I was going off of, bro. Like I feel like J.K. Dobbins is finding success, and what an acquisition for free agent he's been.
Sounds like you tooting your horn. You say, I don't know, I mean toot my horn. Sounds like you tooting.
I'm gonna toot it, bro, because bro, there were some people that were a little disrespectful about it, bro. Kind of
Hey, it be like that
calling me
sometimes.
out, dude. Like what are you talking about, type of thing. And I always try to be cordial with people, even on the X timeline. You know how people could get out of hand, bro. But we're right there, bro. We are right there, and best believe, bro. Like,
I just going off based off this, transitioning from how Dobbins and RJ are used now. I just hope Sean continues to do what he did this game. He let Bo be Bo, had that 1-2 running back rotation. He ran Troy more vertical. He got Pat Bryant involved, not only in the blocking, but also in the receiving game. Court should have had a better game, but still got involved, still did some things late. So
yeah,
just continue based off that.
it really
I know
helped
that
the offense.
I know
really
for the
does.
injuries, I know Lucas Kroll. I know he wasn't there, but he'll miss more time. And Nate Atkins hurt his knee, so there's been rumors that we'll be looking at a tight end. You got somebody in mind that you want to mention?
So the Broncos, do they stand pat at the deadline? I know we got dogs, especially at the wide receiver position. Like we'll be fine there, I feel like, in my opinion. But the tight end position, like being that you brought up those injuries, there's a specific tight end you and I have been going back and forth talking about behind the scenes. Chico Conquo, bro, from the Titans.
Yep.
They have Gunnar Helm, who had a touchdown in yesterday's game, despite getting the break speed off him. But Chico Conquo is a guy that is athletic, bro, that I feel like is he's a good pass catcher, and he can be an inline blocking tight end for our offense as well, right? We're not just having him in Ingram. Both of those guys could be on the field at the same time, bro.
Yep.
And I feel like if you guys, those of you that want wide receivers, I feel like Evan Ingram could kind of fill that void as a pass catcher, to help with that, aspect.
Create mismatches.
Yes, it does create mismatches. And, bro, like, what a good asset that would be. He wouldn't be, I don't really believe that he would cost the same amount of draft capital or just trade capital in general, whatever resources to acquire him in a trade to bring him to Denver, bro. What about you? What do you think?
I don't think it'll cost much either. Especially, I mean, I don't know how much playing time he's getting, but he would cost less than a Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkins, which I don't believe is available. But I feel like he would cost less than both of those guys. And I really think it's like it would be a high reward for him because, like you said, he could do both. You know, he could
Yeah.
be in line. He can go out and receive. Like he can be both. And you hit it right on the nail with people who want a receiver. If you get Nkonkwo and you have Ingram in that slot mismatched on like a linebacker or a small corner, hey, that we'll take that all day. You'll have a bunch of big bodies on the field because Okonkwo is not small.
Yeah, no, by any means. He's solid, dude. He'd
Yeah.
be a nice one. Like Mark Andrews is there. He's a shiny name, but like Chico Conco's a guy for me that
And he's young. So
he's young. Yeah, bro. That might take that off the board later down the line. If, like drafting a tight end, not to get off task, we'll get down talk that's another conversation. But
right.
yeah, he could potentially do that for you. Offensive lineman, I'm kind of a little worried about. I mean, just depending on what Powers, what happens with him, dude, like if he comes back healthy. I wouldn't feel like the Broncos would want to wait that long just to really see, bro. But Paltro's done a good job, but I'm talking about maybe potentially trading for a offensive lineman that could provide depth. There's a guy in Evan Neal out of the Giants that could be like a reclamation type of project behind Paltro. I don't know. That's a guy that I'm looking at too. You know what I mean? Because I like what Strafe has done as an offensive line coach, right? So
Yeah, it just depends. I think
yeah,
Paltro's doing great.
maybe
And
sophomore in his feels. Do they maybe they feel a little more confident with what he has?
right.
So
If Paltro would have been struggling and you throw Throckmorton in there and he's struggling, then yeah, I'd say, oh, we need some interior line help. But Paltro did great with Lawrence last week. He did great with Clark this week. I think I think we stand pat because like you say, you will have Powers come back eventually.
yeah,
So
and I know like
but also, I just think one move needs to be made now. And that's just the tight end spot. Because
yeah.
with the injuries racking up there, I just feel like you need to make a move.
Well, what do you feel about inside linebacker, bro? Because I know, yes, Drew Sanders potentially be coming back, maybe soon. Not sure on the time frame. I'll have to double check. But like, I feel like you can't hold your breath on that, and you have three guys right now. Dre Greenlaw would be like that trade acquisition potentially, because he hasn't really played much. He was just suspended last game after coming back to this team, and playing, but unfortunately. But he's like, yeah, and my boy has Dre Greenlaw here, but him. So you'll have Dre Greenlaw, you'll have Justin Strnad, and you have Alex Singleton, right? But if injury comes into effect, like we don't wish that upon any of our players, right? But like you have to have that in the back of your mind when you're looking at the roster and you're looking at the trade deadline, right? And that's kind of a weakness. Well, not kind of, it is a weakness. As to this point, it has kind of been, But I would look into maybe potentially trading for an inside linebacker for depth. Logan Wilson from Cincinnati, bro, just asked for a trade. That's
Yeah,
somebody
but
else too.
he wants to start. He lost his job to a rookie. And so I think if you
Okay.
go out and get an inside linebacker, it has to be somebody who's willing to be a depth piece. Um, and
There's
so you gotta look at that. Like I know people are like, "Oh, this is interesting," but is he like Logan Wilson? They're not gonna bring him in to start, especially unless you're stripping Singleton out, and it doesn't look like that's happening. So
yeah, you got
I
to.
think they stand pat at inside linebacker too. I know I was clamoring for it, but being how Strenard has upped his game a little bit, and they did pretty solid. I mean, Ferguson didn't get any catches. I think they stand pat, depending on the health of Drew Sanders. Not to mention Jordan Turner that they activated yesterday. He looked solid on special teams, and when he
Okay.
got his 3 plays on defense, he was stopping the run pretty well. So we'll see.
So it kind of feels like we're just going to be more based towards like as continued like Sean Payton likes to do is that internal growth and development kind of thing. I think we're ahead of the 8 ball, bro. If I'm being honest, in terms of where we were supposed to be when Bo Nix was drafted, right? Like we're 6-2, bro, sitting at the top of the first of the AFC West, dude. Like that's crazy. It's been forever that we've had an opportunity to talk about that, and I'm excited, dude, that we are there. But yeah, if we stand pat, I'll be good with it. Wide receiver wise, if you did want to make a move for a wide receiver, who would you like to trade for? If the Broncos feel like they don't have enough, but I feel like they do after
I
yesterday.
mean, I don't know. It's so tough because
I
depending
know.
on who's out there. So I really don't know. I know the low, like if we want to go low, I know Calvin Ridley. I know a lot of people don't like Calvin Ridley. If we want to go high, I would like Olave. But I'll be
Harry
fine if
Thomas
we don't.
Jr. though was a guy that just came out and potentially that they're shopping. He's a guy that I would be willing to put out a second or a first. Like honestly, dude. Like
Brian Thomas, yeah.
Brad
You know,
Jr.
if they want to go that route, sure, I'll be fine with it. But we'll see. Deadline's next
Yeah.
week. We never know these things, everybody. But don't be surprised if we trade
And
for tight end.
there's always a name, Kinley, that comes up, bro. That's like we didn't even know that was an
Right.
option. Right? Like that shit happens all the time, dude. So in the
Yeah.
NFL, so no, dude. But I'm like going back to this matchup, dude. I feel like it was amazing, bro. Like the Denver Broncos really handled their business, and I gotta give them their flowers, dude. They really balled out. They showed up, dude. All 4 quarters. There's not much more I can say, dude. 44-24. Putting out that kind of production on offense felt really good, bro. And I hope
Do it again.
let's sustain that moving forward.
That.
I did want to touch on like Bo Nix last season and his rookie season. The second half of the season's where he really got going, bro. This season it's looking like it's trending.
I don't want to. Be quiet. I don't want to hear you say nothing about a player doing anything because you talked about Nick Bonito being defensive player of the year and he hadn't had a sack and took it. Be quiet. Zip it. Let's wait and see. Stop talking your shit. All right, everybody. That's it for today's show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're at 256 subscribers. Our goal is 300. Please help us get there. You can follow us on TikTok at BuckhamPod, at Twitter at BuckhamPod. We love you. Maha salute. And remember, if it ain't about the Broncos, Buck 'em. Peace.